Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how on our last trip we were driving down the highway and we lost our antenna. So stay tuned. Okay, so just a little background. Several months ago, we were camping in Pennsylvania and they had a low-hanging wire in the RV park that we were parking in. And so it hit the antenna and caused it to pop off. So I got the antenna out of the road. Of course, some nice camper that was outside let us know that the low wire was there after the antenna came off. So we were able to repair it fairly easily. I just got up on the roof that night and used some Eternabond and used the Eternabond and taped it back up where it was supposed to be, and everything was working fine at that point. So fast forward to our last trip just a few weeks ago, and we were driving down the highway and this red car comes speeding up behind us, and of course I'm in the slow lane doing about 5 below the speed limit. So I figured, oh no, this is a road rager gonna yell at me about driving too slow on the highway. But they pulled up and there were 2 people in the car, and the passenger unrolled the window, so I unrolled my window. We were still driving, and he said, "Hey, your antenna just flew off of your RV." So I immediately pulled over into the next stop that I could, and I climbed up on the roof. Sure enough, the whole antenna was gone. The base plate was still there, and I'll throw a picture in here so you can see what it looked like. So I just, the wires were stripped off, so I just got a Walmart bag and some duct tape, climbed up there and taped the Walmart bag down onto the roof, and then taped around the Walmart bag so there wouldn't be any holes or anything ripped in it. So that held together for several weeks. Actually, we were still able to do our trip. We just didn't have any FM or AM radio signal or any television signal. We rarely watch regular TV anyway. Everything's always just streaming, and so we still had that capability. So the problem came when I tried to order this antenna, and on the Arctic Fox 27.5L that we have, it has a Magnadyne antenna system with a Wi-Fi booster built into it. So I called Magnadyne, and it took 4 attempts at calling them to get the right base and antenna for the configuration that's on our 2019 Arctic Fox. So we went back and forth several times. Thankfully, they stayed patient with me and I stayed patient with them, but now I have several things to return to them. But it took 4 shipments, so about 5 or 6 weeks for me to be able to get the right parts. So I do have a piece of advice for that, and that is, as soon as you call if you have an Arctic Fox or you use the Magnadyne setup, as soon as you have a problem, get up there and take a picture, and when you call, ask for an email address and you can send them the photo of what you need. So if I would have done that first, it would have narrowed down my 4 different shipments down to 2. So finally on the last one, we got the right antenna set up, and oh, I should mention also that they didn't charge me for all of these different shipments. I just paid once and we went back and forth, and now I need to send them. They sent me a UPS return label, so now I need to send them all of the pieces and parts back. So I'll just show you real quick what the pieces were that I got in what shipment, and you can see the potential frustration that it could have caused. But luckily everybody remained friendly and patient, and I knew that they had several different antenna configurations, and so it got a little complicated. So if I would have just been smart enough to send them a picture right away, it would have solved the problem much faster. So let's take a look at what they actually sent. So the first thing we received when we called to order the new parts was just an antenna. And so I knew that was not correct because we needed the antenna base as well. So this was not going to work. So I called them back and I explained that I needed the base as well. And so received a new antenna again and a base. But we have a Wi-Fi booster that sits also up on the roof as part of the RV Link system. And so this small base, it would not work at all. So I called them back and explained that this was a small base and it wasn't going to work, and I needed the bigger base, not knowing that there were different bigger bases at the time. So what I got next was a larger base, another antenna. So now I have 3 of these and this larger base, which you can see is much larger than the small base. And so I thought this is probably going to work. So I got up on the roof. Sure enough, did not work. This is a round base and I needed an oval base. So finally, me and the salesperson, I've been dealing with the same salesperson the entire time, got smart, and he said, can you send me a photo of exactly what's on your roof? So after we did that, I finally got the correct setup, which is the new plate that goes actually on the roof, which I may or may not have to change. We'll get up there and take a look. The oval base, which also fits the Wi-Fi booster there. And they actually changed the antenna for this from a round antenna to a wing style antenna. So I think we're all good to go now. We'll get up on the roof and see if this is going to work. All right, so we're up on the roof, and here's all that's left of our antenna setup. And you can see that this was the base that they sent, but that's still securely fastened onto the roof, and all the pieces are still there. There's no breakage. So we can skip putting that on, and then we're gonna go, we gotta fix this cable to put the right end on since it's got stripped off, and everything else looks good. So we can fix that, put the base on, screw it down, put the antenna in, seal everything up, and we should be good to go. So that was pretty easy, really like a 5-minute fix. It just took a long time to get the right parts. So be patient when you're ordering parts. And like I said, the picture made the biggest difference in getting the right parts in. But once I got the right parts, it's an easy fix. This is why it's important to learn how to do some of your own maintenance, because this short fix probably would have cost a couple $100 at a service center, and we would have been without the RV probably until they got the parts in. So we were able to take it out on a trip. I just kept that bag on it, and it worked out really well. And there you have it. Easy fix on the Arctic Fox 27.5L. And until we see you on the road, listening to our radio again, safe travels, everybody.